6 rounds and 54 players taken in the 2021 CFL Canadian Football League draft. This is now complete. With the first selection, the Hamilton Tiger Cats selected Jake Burt from Boston College. He becomes the 9th player taken from Boston College in the CFL draft and the first to be selected in the first round. This is the first time since 1977 that 6 defensive players were taken in the first round. Also, Daniel Joseph is the first ever player picked from NC State all-time by any CFL club. Nick Cross is also the second UBC first-round pick in the last 4 years. So you have at Hamilton Tiger Cats at 1 took Jake Burt, tight end out of Boston College. Saskatchewan took Nelson Lacombo, defensive back from Saskatchewan. Winnipeg took Liam Dobson, offensive lineman from Maine. BC Lions took Daniel Joseph, who a lot of people picked would be the first overall pick. He's from North Carolina State. Edmonton took Cole Nelson, defensive end, Alberta. Ottawa took Deshaun Stevens, a linebacker from Maine. Toronto took Peter Nicastro, offensive lineman from Calgary. Calgary took Eamon Agbongdembia, from linebacker from Oklahoma State. And Hamilton, in a trade from last year, I believe, took Nick Cross, linebacker from UBC. We have the full list of people drafted on CFL News Hub. You can search the list, and it's got all 6 rounds. If you want to see by position, team, college, etc., you can go on there. Now let's take a look at some of the notable players taken in this draft. So the season's CFL draft took place on Tuesday night. History was made as the number 1 pick, of course, was Hamilton Tiger Cats selecting Jake Burt, making him the second tight end ever to be picked first in the CFL draft. The night also belonged to offensive and defensive lines, as 18 total were selected in the CFL draft. Star Oklahoma State running back Chuba Hubbard was selected in a professional football draft for the second time in 1 week after the Calgary Stampeders drafted him in the 5th round. After months of speculation about potential XFL merger and a delay of the start of the season, fans got much needed distraction, with many players' dreams coming true. While some will either play in the NFL or go back to college, others will begin their professional football careers in Canada. Here's some notable names from Tuesday night. Of course, Jake Burt, tight end, Hamilton Tiger Cats, round 1, pick 1. While many draft experts were projecting NC State defensive end Daniel Joseph to be Hamilton's first pick, the Tiger Cats pulled a fast one and took Boston College tight end Jake Burt, number 1. They liked him so much that Burt already signed a 3-year contract with them Tuesday night. Burt became just the second tight end in league history to be drafted number 1 overall, with former Ottawa Roughriders tight end Gerald Wilcox picked number 1 back in 1989. During his college career at Boston College, Burt recorded 23 catches for 307 yards and 2 touchdowns in 36 career games. He went undrafted in last year's NFL draft and ended up signing with the New England Patriots. Burt would be on their practice squad for the 2020 NFL season, but he was not re-signed at the end of the season. Tight ends don't get used in the CFL, but Burt proves the skill set that could be used as an H-back and wide receiver. He's faster than most tight ends, as he ran a 4.48 time in the 40-yard dash. Burt's got strong hands and can block when he asks to do it. Hamilton also has added another pass-catching weapon on offense and should see their first pick make an impact immediately. Next up, Daniel Joseph, defensive end, BC Lions, round 1, pick 4. BC Lions boasted their defensive line as they added the NC State defensive end. Regarded as the top defensive lineman in the draft, Joseph is a top-notch pass rusher who has a nose for the quarterback. After a short stint at Penn State, Joseph found his role at NC State, recording 37 tackles and 6.5 sacks during the 2020 season. Many teams were looking to load up on the defensive line, and Joseph has the potential to be one of the top pass rushers in the CFL. Unfortunately for BC, Joseph will be returning to NC State for 1 more season. If he continues to improve his skills, he might become a potential prospect in the NFL. He won't play the season, but as a futures piece to the Lions, Joseph could be an elite pass rusher. Terrell, Jana, wide receiver, Saskatchewan Roughriders, round 2, pick 17. Now, Jana was considered to be one of the top receivers in the draft outside of Josh Palmer, who was drafted in the NFL. Jana comes from Virginia, where he is the 12th in school history and receptions and 17th in receiving yards. His junior year in 2019 was his best season, recording 74 receptions and 86 yards and 3 touchdowns. Last season didn't go well for Jana as his numbers went down, 36 catches for 423 and 1 touchdown. Jana won't kill teams with his speed, but he makes for a good possession receiver. He could be a good red zone target for the Roughriders, who already have a solid receiving core in their roster. While Jana was inconsistent in college, he should make for a solid receiver in the CFL and develop throughout the years. Ben Hladik, linebacker, BC Lions, round 3, pick 22. The Lions nabbed another top-notch defensive player to help him out. Ben Hladik is one of the most athletic linebackers in the CFL draft. Back in 2019, he recorded 58 tackles, 4 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks, and 1 interception for UBC. While he wasn't ranked in the top 20 of the CFL Spring Scouting Bureau rankings, he was creating quite a buzz with his tape and quick 4.55 40 speed. Hladik brings a lot of talent to the BC defense and will get a chance to play. He should contribute on special teams early in his career and get a chance to play on defense. The Lions appear to be looking at getting younger and faster on defense, which Hladik should be able to prove that. Chuba Hubbard, running back, Calgary Stampeders, round 5, pick 43. Calgary is taking a chance on drafting a running back who won't immediately play for them, but could pay off in the future. Chuba Hubbard ran wild for Oklahoma State in 2019 after running for 2,094 yards and 21 touchdowns. Last season was a bit of rush patch for the running back as he battled through injuries. He finished with just 625 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns. Hard to put him stock on anything last year. The injury issues dropped his stock in the 2021 NFL draft. He ended up going to the Carolina Panthers in the 4th round of the draft. Hubbard already announced that he will go play in the NFL and pursue his NFL career in Carolina for the time being. Hubbard has good speed and can find the open running lane easily. His vision made him one of the top running backs in the NCAA when he played. As long as he stays healthy, he could be a backup in Carolina. If Hubbard ends up going to the CFL in the future, Calgary has themselves a running back who could be one of the top runners in the league from day one. Other notable players drafted. BC Lions got a steal in the 2nd round, picking Iowa offensive lineman Arlick Jackson, who was the 2nd-ranked player in the 2021 CFL Spring Scouting Bureau rankings. Oklahoma State linebacker Amen Ogbongbinjima of Calgary's first pick, who is an instinctive tackler, would perform well in the CFL. Both players were signed to NFL teams after the draft and will get a crack at making those rosters before potentially playing in the CFL. Winnipeg's first pick, Liam Dobson, will not be joining the Blue Bombers' offensive line just yet, as he will play his senior year at college at Texas State before going professional. Another player who was drafted and will most likely be returning to college is defensive back Donnie Leonard, going 18th overall to Hamilton. Ball-hawking Leonard will continue playing at Ole Miss for his senior season this fall, and depending on how his 2021 season goes, he might join the Tiger Cats next season. So some of these guys are going to be in the NFL. Some are going back to college. If you're a fan of one of these teams, it'll definitely be fun to watch these guys in college, and hopefully they get the chance to play in the CFL in 2022. Remember to give us a like and subscribe to our channel. I really appreciate that and getting the word out. And remember, we are a CFL News Hub, and give us a like and subscribe for more CFL news.